John 1:14 to 18. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John the Baptist testified concerning him. He cried out, saying, "This is the one I spoke about when I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me because he was before me.'" Out of his fullness we have all received grace in the place of grace already given. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known. So at this point, John, the writer, is talking about Jesus living with them, the disciples. And he's saying that the disciples and Jesus' other followers all saw the glory of this man, full of grace and truth. What is grace? It's a funny word, isn't it? We don't often use it in today's day and age. It's been described in many ways. It's essentially a gift from God. It can't be earned. Grace points to salvation, freedom from the chaos and darkness that we were talking about a couple of episodes ago. But it also points to having strength to keep going in this life when things get tough. I'll say that again. Grace points to salvation, ultimate freedom from chaos and darkness, but also points to having the strength to keep going in this day life, in this very life, when things get tough. And they do. Believing in Jesus doesn't stop you from having a difficult life. In fact, if anything, it sometimes makes it more complicated and more difficult. We will come back to this idea of grace giving us strength many times in the next however long we're together. John then talks about the law of Moses, which was the prescribed way in which God's people should live to attain a good life, way back when the Israelites were in the desert. But then John also says grace and truth came through Jesus and fulfills the law, as Jesus said. We will come back later to how Jesus becomes the fulfillment of the law of Moses. So yeah, some really big themes to start grappling with and get our heads around. And in the next section, we're going to look at Jesus' childhood, as little as we know about it, not a lot, and also the Christmas story. So we're going to switch from John's Gospel into Matthew's Gospel next.